In this video, we're going to take a look at, for automata designs, how to create kind of place markers for some of the objects that students may pull off of Thingiverse. So if you have a student that's going to put something very complicated and pull a file off Thingiverse in order to 3D print and put in their automata, a lot of times when it comes to 3D modeling, I go through and just have them put some placeholders. So you'll see I've got one here, which is an Iron Man kind of placeholder that I just kind of put just that way they can see how it would go through and move. So I'll go through the steps on how I'd kind of do that, and I'll use it on this follower here on the other side in order to kind of communicate how to do that. So I've got the top level assembly active, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new component. This one, I already have Iron Man, so let's go ahead and put Captain America. And I'll go ahead and say OK. And when I do that, it's going to make that component active, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new sketch. Now, I've been basing everything off of the origin, so if I zoom out, I can go through and click on any of the principal work planes. So I think I'm going to pick on the front plane in order to do that. I'm going to, if the components have moved, I'm going to say capture the position, because I've got them where I want them. And now I can reference geometry from the follower. Now you can do a lot of different things to make little placeholders. So you could actually have them extrude, a hole and create a little part. As far as that goes, I'm just going to use the line tool. So it's up to you on how deep you want to go into this. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to kind of do something right now just to kind of match what I had on the other side. And it's going to be just kind of quick and just to show. And I'm going to go ahead and trace out the projection lines as well, so that way I get this shaded feature. I'm not going to worry too much about necessarily, here I'll kind of make this look a little bit even, but I'm not going to worry about constraining the sketch right now. I'm just going to go ahead and finish the sketch, and I'm going to go ahead and extrude, and I'm going to select that shape, and I'm going to do a symmetric extrusion, and I'm just going to kind of drag this out and just give it a little bit of a thickness. So roughly about what the other one was that I created. So just creating this little placeholder. So the other thing I can do is either one of two things. In a previous video, I showed you how to bring in an object, an image into a sketch, and I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna do insert, and here you can do a decal, or you can do a canvas. So I'm gonna choose decal for this one. I'm going to go ahead and find my Captain America image, which I believe should be this one. And I'm going to say open, and it's going to ask me what face to put it on. So I'll click on the face, and here we go. So we've got the image. I can rotate it into position, and I can grab the corner here and kind of increase the scale. I can grab the center and try to go through and do that. Right now, one of the options that we have checked is chain faces. So if I continue to expand the size of this, it actually chain faces will wrap around all of the faces. So you can see where it's starting to do that. Looks a little funny on the back, but you can actually do that. If you don't want that to happen, you can uncheck that, and then it only applies to the face that you have selected. So this is how you can bring in an image and try to, just have something there that, for example, Iron Man is pretty hard of an item to try to model, and I'm not going to expect my freshmen to go through and do that, but I maybe want to know kind of what is it that they're going to put there, and be able to see if there's a placeholder or something. So I'm just using this as a placeholder right now, and now that I'm finished with it, I can go ahead and go back to the top level assembly and activate it, and now I'm going to be able to see that there's the component. Now what I'm going to do here, since I kind of modeled this in reference to the follower, I'm going to use the as-built joint command, and I'm going to go ahead and apply a rigid joint between these two parts, and in that way, I can't go through. So now if I move it up and down, the follower's got to come with it, and because of some of the settings I already have there, if I turn on the contact, enable all contact, Now I'm going to be able to turn the crank handle, and now I'm going to be able to see these moving into place. So just one thing to kind of help make communication a little bit clearer, make life a little bit easier for students, and be able to let them focus a little bit more on then prototyping their design as opposed to just modeling the entire thing. So this is how to create a little placeholder for more complicated parts, how to put images, decals onto parts, and hopefully this helps you with finishing up your automata design, whatever that you may come up with.